This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Green. I'm the technical specialist with the EOCP. And today I'm going to be delivering a webinar on navigating our customer relationship manager. The CRM is a tool that the EOCP launched in 2017, and lots of people have been getting up to speed on it. But there's still lots of operators and lots of folks in the industry who have not yet used our system, and this webinar is for you. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to go through the webinar, the CRM via webinar. It was a new system for the EOCP in November 2017, and it is a one-stop shop for all the information you need on your facility, your classification, reclassifications, managing your career as a water wastewater operator, tracking your CEUs, accessing courses, applying for exams, paying dues, searching for people. Pretty much every piece of information that we have at the EOCP is available here through the CRM. And this system works, it's a user-based system, so it works best when all of our users use it regularly and keep it updated. Having correct and up-to-date information helps us help you when you call in and have questions or concerns. We use this database, so it's important that you keep your information up to date. There is no other certification group that has a system like this in Canada. So this system has won a number of awards in the last few years. It really is revolutionary in terms of how we're able to interact with our operators and our stakeholders. If you'd like to have a copy of these slides, you can email us and we will send them to you. This is a recorded webinar, so there's actually no need to ask questions or use the chat function. Usually we deliver this live, in which case it's an interactive session, but this today is being recorded for the purposes of people who want to view it at a later date. So we can just ignore that, that last piece there. A brief agenda of what I'm going to cover today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is registration. How you sign up for the CRM if you don't already have an existing profile. I'm going to go through searching and filtering, how you can find information in our CRM. Like I mentioned, we've got a ton of it. I'm going to talk about relationships. This is a major part of the CRM. So how you're able to see and access and change information depends purely on the relationships that you've set up for yourself. So where you work as an operator or an administrator or whatever your role might be, you have to make sure that you have the right relationship status. I'll briefly talk about facility classification. So owners, chief operators, people in charge who need to reclassify their facilities, that's done on the CRM. There's actually a separate webinar dedicated just to facility classification. So if you've already set up your profile and you're looking for information on that, you can view our other webinar that's titled Facility Classification for step-by-step instructions on how to do that. I'll talk about our career management system. So where the EOCP tracks all of the courses that have been approved for CEUs, how you can find and apply for an exam session, how you can view your own CEUs to see if you're up to date in the reporting period. And then at the end, like I mentioned, there won't be any questions or any live examples, so we'll just skip over that. But if at any point anyone is watching this webinar and does have questions, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call. My contact info will be provided at the end of the slide. So registering. When you log into the CRM, you would log in using the email address that's associated with your EOCP profile. So if you're a certified operator, if you've ever written an exam, if you've ever done any correspondence with the EOCP, you are already in this system. So when the system launched in 2017, you would have been sent an email that said, hey, log into our system. It's likely that if you haven't done that by now, you certainly have lost that email. In which case you should contact us at the office before you register a new account. So we don't want to have duplicate people in the system. So if you've been an operator for a long time, but you've never logged into our system, please give us a call and we will let you know how to log in and reset your password. If you're not an operator and you've never been associated with the EOCP, you're going to need to click register there. You can see that it'll come up in the bottom right hand, the bottom right hand corner, and create a profile for yourself. When you do that, if you haven't already done so, it's going to ask you for a bunch of information. So your name, your address, contact details, any education that you might have, any certifications, who you work for, that sort of thing. So this is what we call our stepped registration. That's how you'll kind of get into our system if you're not already an operator. This is again another kind of page 2 and 3 of that stepped registration. So if you want to add courses that you could get for credit for CEUs, any of your certifications, if you're an instructor, training provider, this stepped registration is going to ask you a ton of questions. And again, like I said, it's best to keep your profile as up to date and as accurate as possible, but not all of these sections will apply to everyone. If you are going through the stepped registration process, there's a link there for you in the bottom right-hand corner with complete instructions on how to do it. So if you're in the middle of it and you can't figure something out, just click this link. It will give you step-by-step instructions. The next thing I'm going to talk about is once you log in. So once you're in the system, how can you use it? What do you want to be able to do with it? The basics of the CRM. So we can use it for a lot of different functions. We can search for facilities, organizations, or operators. We can search by facility name or facility number if you know it, by operator name, operator certification number if you have that. We can also filter by facility type or facility level. So for example, if you wanted to generate a list of all the water distribution level 4 facilities in BC, we could do that. Similarly for operator certification types and levels, if you wanted to find a level 4 operator, we can do that too. One thing to note is that detailed personal information will not be available for a given operator, and that's due to freedom of information and privacy. But each operator that you search for in the system, so for example, you're an employer and you've received a job application from an operator who has claimed to be certified, you will see when you search for that operator in our system, you will be able to see if that operator is certified or not certified. They will have a green thumbs up next to their name if they're certified, or a red flag if they're not certified. If they are not certified, that simply means that they either haven't paid their annual dues or their CEUs are not up to date. So if you are looking for somebody who has more questions, please feel free to give us a call. What I'm going to do throughout this webinar is kind of flip back and forth between these slides and the actual live CRM. So there's a few screenshots in this presentation so that when you go back for reference, you can have them. This is a screenshot of our kind of main facility database. So on the left-hand side there, you'll see 3 icons. There is a house, a person, and a building. The home, when you click on the house, that's kind of everything. That's the home page. If you click on the person link icon, and we'll go through that in the next slide, that's where you would search for operators. This one that I've got highlighted in red, this is if you want to search for a facility or an organization. So in this example, I've searched for the word Squamish, and the results are going to return to me any facility or organization in our system that has Squamish in the title. So there's government organizations, there's First Nations, there's facilities, etc. And so that's kind of a high level how this search works. Similarly, like I said, if you want to search for an operator, you would highlight that person button on the left and then type the name of the operator into the search box. So in this case, I've searched for Mike. We've got a lot of them. You can see down at the bottom that this page is showing 1 to 15 of 78 entries. So make sure you are showing everything so that you can, you can ensure that you're getting all those results. And now, like I said, what I'm going to do is just change screens here to the actual CRM. So this is what happens. You get to eocp.ca and click login. It's going to ask you to sign in. Here's that registration piece if you haven't done that already. I'm going to go ahead and log in. So what I've done here is I've created a profile for myself as an operator. So this is going to be showing you exactly what you'll be able to see in terms of access and functionality. So this isn't my EOCP staff member account where I have access to a lot of other things. This is going to give you kind of a good idea of what you'll be able to see. So when you log in, you're going to come to your own homepage. So you'll hopefully see your name at the top, your address, your phone number, your email address, your certification number if you're a certified operator. Underneath, there's an opportunity for you to upload a photo if you want, your date of birth, which region you're in. To the right here, we'll see relationship, learning status, account, and action items. These 4 things I'm going to step through in detail in the next few slides. But right now, I just want to highlight those search examples. So if I want to search for a facility, I'd come over here to the left, click the building. Now say I want to search for a facility that is in the city of Kamloops or somewhere in Kamloops. I type in Kamloops, hit enter. And like I said, it's going to return everything we have in our system with Kamloops in the title. So that's it. There it is. I'm looking actually for the Kamloops water treatment facility. I found it. I can click on that right now and see some more details about that facility. If I want to go back again, I could just go back to that main homepage. The same thing, like I said, works for operators. So you want to search for an operator. We use that Mike example. Go to the person icon, type in Mike, and then you're going to find all of our mics. So again, once you find the mic that you're looking for, go ahead and click that person's name. And like I said, you won't be able to find any detailed personal information about that operator. You'll simply be able to find out their certification number and if they are or not certified. So the operator in this case either hasn't paid their annual dues or their CEs are not up to date. If I go back to the facility page, I'm just going to show you quickly how you could filter through some of the data. Like I mentioned, if you wanted to make a list of all the water treatment facilities in BC, you could do so by clicking facility type, selecting WT. All of a sudden, we're going to have water treatment. So you can see we have 267 classified water treatment facilities. If you wanted to further refine that to find all the level 2s, for example, if you're interested to understand which facilities are classified in what manner, you can then filter down for that. If you want to then find more information about that particular facility, you will only be able to do so if you have a relationship with the system. So you can get their phone number and address if you need to make a phone call or contact them, and you'll be able to see more details if you have an accepted relationship. We'll go through that here in the next slide. So I'll just click back to the home page, which is my personal profile page, and I'll change here back to the presentation, and we'll talk about relationships. So relationships, as I mentioned, is a really important part of the CRM. In order to see the facility, the details of your facility, so say you work at a specific water treatment plant and you want to understand the classification history and what infrastructure is there and who operates there and et cetera, pay the bills, you need to have an accepted relationship with that specific facility. So when you go to your profile and you click relationships as shown in this screenshot, you should see a list of all the places that you work. If you have a relationship status that's shown as pending, you'll see here down the bottom, I have 2 that are accepted, 1 is pending. If it says pending, give us a call. That just means that you don't yet have access because we haven't verified those details. So for whatever reason, you need to give us a shout, please go ahead and do that. If any of the information on your relationships page is wrong, you can correct it by right-clicking and selecting edit. That'll allow you to change your title, change your type, modify your start date, add an end date if you no longer work there, etc. Just keep note, you can't delete relationships, so we need to keep a working history of everywhere that, that you've operated at, just for historical purposes. But when you no longer are working at a system, you would add an end date, and that will show us that you do not operate at that facility any longer. So I'll pop back over to the CRM and we'll just go through that quickly. So here I am on my own profile page. These are the relationships that I have currently. If there's a facility that I work at that's not there, what I do, I can go up to this upper right-hand corner and click Action. Sorry about that. And then I would select Add a Relationship. Now, to add a relationship to a facility, I can start typing the name of that facility. So again, let's say I want to add a relationship to that Kamloops Water Treatment Center. I just start typing the name of the facility and it will populate. So there it is, Kamloops Center for Water Quality. What's my role? Yep, I'm an operator there. What's my job title? You know, maybe my job title is utility operator. Again, just start typing the title of your job, utility, maybe I'm a utility operator. Well, number one, when did I start working there? Oh my gosh, it was back in, 2018, whatever the date is. And then you go ahead and hit submit. So you do that for so if you're a new operator and there's no relationships there and you work at 5 or 6 different places, this is the process that you would follow. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because I don't actually want to add that to my profile. And here's where I talked about if your relationship is approved or pending. So if I have an accepted relationship and I click on that facility, I'm going to be able to see a number of details about that facility. You'll recall when I clicked on it previously, all I could see was the contact details for the facility. So I could see kind of this box up here. If I have an accepted relationship, I'm able to see a list of everyone else who works at that facility. I'm able to see any attachments that there are. So if we've added any notes to your file, if you have any invoices, blah, blah, blah. Any facility classification applications, they'll be here. I'll go through that in a moment. We're going to be able to see any details about the facility. So who's the chief operator? What's the facility number? Where's it located? Flow data, facility classification and level. Pretty much any information that we have, you'll be able to see. History of all the times it's been classified, etc. So that's what you'll see if you have an accepted relationship. I'll close that tab. And then, like I said, if you have a pending relationship, those details won't be available to you. So if you're trying to find information and you can't, it's probably because you don't have the right relationship status approved. Again, what else do we talk about if we want to edit a relationship? You go ahead and right click, edit. That's going to allow you to change your job title, change your start date, add an end date, identify yourself as a billing contact if you're an administrative person or someone who wants to receive invoices. Again, go ahead and hit submit. Anytime you make a change to a relationship in our CRM, it's going to automatically put that relationship into pending status because we need to review those changes. So if you've done it and you're waiting for our review and it hasn't happened, just please give us a shout. We'll be able to go through and accept those relationships for you quickly if you give us a call. Sometimes it takes a few days to get through all of them. So I'm going to flip back over to my presentation. The next thing that we're going to talk about in the webinar today is facility classification. So in 2017, when we launched the CRM, we also put all of the facility classifications for level 1 to 4 facilities for water treatment, distribution, wastewater treatment, and collection online. And they're now all done in the CRM. The other thing that changed in 2017 is that all facility classifications now expire every 5 years and must be updated online through the CRM. So if you haven't classified your facility online in our CRM, it's probably expired and you need to log in and do that. So one thing to note, small systems, so any water systems under 500 people or wastewater systems under 500 people or 22.7 cubic meters per day are still classified manually. So that's not part of this. If you're a small water system operator, you can contact our office to reclassify. However, in the CRM, to reclassify at any time, you can click Action Request Reclassification from the facility page, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a moment. So this is the kind of a screenshot of that facility page. So this is a test water distribution facility. You can see there up in the right-hand corner, you click Action Request Reclassification. When you do that, it's going to open. Sorry about that. It's going to open the classification page. We'll go through how to complete one here very briefly. And like I said, there is a full webinar on facility classification that you can watch. So you can check the status of your existing classification by going to the Classifications tab under the Facility Details page. So that's going to show you what the classification level is, when it was classified, and if it's valid or not. So if the classification is current or if it's expired. If there are any open classifications, you can go ahead and look at the Action Items Applications tab. I'll show that to you here as well. Any person who has an accepted relationship can do this. Like we mentioned, in order to see these details, you have to have an approved relationship to the facility. However, to submit a facility classification, essentially to be able to change the classification details of the facility, your relationship status has to be either chief operator or person in charge. So if you're an operator or an administrator or a consultant or an employee, you can see these details, but you are not able to change them. If you're the chief operator, but your status is listed as operator, give us a call. We can update that for you. Similarly, if you're a utilities manager, supervisor, someone, you're not an operator, but it's your responsibility to update facility classifications, give us a call. We'll identify you as the person in charge for the facility. Once the classification is complete, the details are available to view. And again, anybody who has a relationship can view them. If you need a PDF copy or a hard copy of the model, you like to fill it out on paper before you enter it into the database, send me an email. I will send you one. That being said, only online submissions made through the CRM are accepted. So you should follow along and make sure that you understand how to classify facility online. So like I mentioned, you can access your applications either from your own personal profile page, which is shown on the left, Action Items Applications, or from the actual facility page itself under Action Items Applications. You'll see in both these cases there are pending applications. So these have not yet been completed. You'll see that status change as you go throughout the process. So it's pending right now. Once you submit it to us, it will say submitted. And then once it's reviewed, that status should hopefully change to accepted. This is just a screenshot of the facility classification form. This is for a wastewater treatment facility. I'm not going to go into detail here. Like I said, there is a webinar dedicated to this that you can watch if you need more information. This is the second page of that classification form. It's going to show you your final classification level, ask you to update your operators. There's comment boxes. You need to upload a drawing. There's a few things, there's a few steps in order to complete the process. And as I mentioned, once it's been completed, submitted, and accepted, the details are available under the Facility Details tab. So let's quickly pop into the CRM. And I'll just show you a few of places where I'll show you live kind of the things we just went over in the slide. So here I am on my home page. This is my personal profile page. If I go to Action Items, Applications, I'm going to see a list of all of my applications. So not just facility class, but you'll see pending exam applications here. We'll talk about that in a little bit. If I want to go ahead and finish off this wastewater treatment application, I'll open it up. Here it is. It's going to ask you to fill out a number of things, et cetera, et cetera. We talked about this. Not going to go into any details here. So for more information on this, please refer to that webinar. The other place that you can find details on your facility classification is if you actually go to the page. So from your relationships, you can, again, you can go over to that facility page. From there, you would navigate to action items, applications, and you're going to find that application here as well. If it's not there, so there it is. If it's not, and also you'll see any older ones that have already been accepted. So like I said, they have to be done every 5 years, but you can reclassify whenever you choose, especially following any major upgrades or changes to your system. If there's no pending application there, you can go up to the upper right and click Action, Request Reclassification. That's going to either take you to the existing one, which is this in this case. If not, it's going to open a new one. So I'll just close that. I'm going to pop back over to my profile page. And like I mentioned, in order to do this, you need to be identified as either the chief operator or the person in charge. If I try to do this on one of my systems where I have an accepted relationship, not as chief operator, like as operator, for example, I won't have the access to submit that final classification. Once it's been accepted, like I said, and you want to see the details of it, you want to make, you've done it a few years ago, you want to confirm what made you a level 2, go to your facility page, click facility details, scroll down to facility classification model, and open the details form. This is going to show you, again, this is a read only, so you can't modify this. This is just the existing application, but you can see everything that was filled out by whomever completed it. So it will say last updated by, and this will be, the name of someone in your organization when they updated it, all the information they submitted, and what the classification is. So just close these tabs here and get back to my slides. So any questions on facility classification, you can either contact me or please refer to the facility classification webinar. So moving on to the career management section of our CRM. The OCP keeps a list, a database of all of the courses that we have approved for CEUs. So as you know, the EOCP is not a training provider. We are an accrediting body, a certifying body. So we assess each course for CEUs and we make them available for you to search for, but we do not actually give the courses ourselves. So in our system, you're able to search for upcoming courses, filter for them by title, course number, course type, whether it's core related, depending on what your needs are, read the course descriptions and see how many CEUs are available. So this is a screenshot of how that looks. So you'd go to career management /courses, then you're going to see a whole list of courses. So there are thousands of courses in our database. By clicking on any one of those courses, you'll get more information about the course itself. Similarly, for exams, you need to write a certification exam. You can search for upcoming exam sessions, filter by location. So if you want to find somewhere in your community, or if you need to find in a specific date range, all that information is there. And as well, you are able to apply to take an exam online. In fact, you must apply online to take an exam. You can't do it manually. So same thing, career management exams. Here's a list of all the upcoming exam sessions. Apply to write exam is up in the upper right-hand corner. So we'll go through that here as well. Again, there are full webinars dedicated just to this. So I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. But this is what it looks like when you go to apply for an exam. Finally, in the career management section, I'll show you how you can add courses or add education to your profile if you notice that your CEUs are missing. And I'll also show you where you can see the running list of all of the CEUs you've ever kind of acquired, and if you're in good standing for a given reporting period. So back over to the CRM, I'll click home. This is where you'll be if you log in. First thing I talked about there was career management courses. So up in the top, you'll see career management, click courses. That's going to open up our current list of courses. So there's 2 tabs here, scheduled and all. If you click all courses, here you go. There's 4,600 courses in here. This is every course that's ever been offered by the EOCP. If you're looking for something that's coming up, click on scheduled. You'll see a lot of things are virtual right now due to the pandemic. But you can search now if you want to, if you're looking to take a course, if you're looking to take water distribution, level whatever, distribution, you could type that in the search. Here you go. We've got level 3 and 4, level 1 and 2, level 1, level 2. So a number of options available. Clicking on any one of those is going to give you some more details about that course. So who's teaching it, what's the description, what are the learning outcomes, the agenda, how many CEUs is it worth, and for what disciplines, that sort of thing. So you can, like I said, all that information is available. You can filter by the date that you want it. You can search for a certain training provider if you've taken a course with someone that you really enjoyed in the past. You can filter by location or by an instructor and use a search button. So all of that information is available for you. Similarly, for exams, go ahead and click Career Management Exams. All of the upcoming exam sessions are here. So if you're ready to write an exam and you are looking to come to the EOCP office to do so, you could go ahead and find the session that works and the date and time for you. Click on that session. See if it's full. Make sure that it's okay to write. Again, like I said, you can filter by location, date, city, etc. So if you're looking for an exam session in your area, just type in your city close by. If you can't find one, please contact us. We do our best to accommodate people looking to write exams. And when you're ready, you would go ahead, once you know the session that you're looking for, you go ahead and click on this button in the upper right, apply to take exam. It's going to ask you to select the exam session that you want. Again, it has to be more than 3 weeks from today's date. So if it's not showing up, it's because the session that you want is too soon. So we do need some time to order exams. So it looks like the first one I can take at the EOCP office in Burnaby is on April 1st at 8:30. I select that. Which exam do I want to take? You're going to have options based on your current profile. So because I'm not a certified operator, I can only take certain exams. You're then going to need to complete the rest of the form. And like I said, there is a full webinar dedicated to exams, so I'm not going to go through this here. The last thing I want to show you on the CRM in our career management section is CEUs. So under your own personal profile, you go ahead and click Learning Status. You are going to see your CEUs here. So I'm not an operator, so I don't have this on my profile. I will show you a completed profile here in a moment. My certification is also would be shown here. And then education, this is going to be a list of every course and every piece of education I have that's pertinent. So my profile is not a great example. I will show you a better one. If I did realize that I'm missing some stuff, I could go up to the upper right, click Action, add a course, or add education. So add education would be like any post-secondary education that you have from college or university. Add a course would be like for example, those water distribution courses we just searched for. So you'd go ahead, click add a course. It would ask you to search for it, descriptions, and then upload the completion certificate. So when you finish these courses, you get one. If we're missing it, or sorry, if it's not on your profile and you have the certificate at home, please upload it and you will get credit. So same thing for education. If you have a university degree that you'd like to add to your profile, you can do that. We're just going to need to see a copy of that, that diploma or degree. The last thing I'm going to do here is show you a completed profile. So in order to do that, I'm going to log out of my operator account and into my EOCP admin account. and show you the profile of one of our board members who's a retired operator, Mr. Jim McQuarrie. He has been a certified operator for a number of years, is now retired, but I just want to show you on his profile the learning status page. So if you are a certified operator, this is kind of what you'll see when you go to this learning status. So CEUs, this is every reporting period that we have on record. So you can see, you can open up each previous reporting period, see the number of what courses you took, what CEUs were assigned, core and related, total, etc. So we're currently in this reporting period, 2020 to the end of 2021. So if you have any red flags in this one, it's not a big deal because you have until the end of this year to get your CEUs up to date. But you'll be able to see all of this here. Certification, like I said, every certification that you've ever obtained is going to be listed here. And then education, every course that you've ever taken through the EOCP is going to be listed here. So if you've been an operator for quite a long time, this is going to be very full. So that's that. With that, I'm going to flip back to the presentation. That kind of wraps up the webinar for today. Like I mentioned, detailed webinars on each of the topics covered today are available. So you can contact us for those or find them on our website. The CRM is only as good as the information it contains. So if your profile is not up to date or there's something on your profile that's wrong, that we don't know about it unless you tell us. So please do your best to keep your profile updated. I understand that change is hard and that new systems are hard to get used to, but the more you use it, the easier it will get. And we're certainly here to help you with that. So if you have any questions at all, certainly feel free to call our office, send us an email, attend another training session, webinar. And so I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to get familiar with the new system. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me or email me. My email address is jgreen@eocp.ca. So you'll see my name there on the slide. It's just jgreen@eocp.ca. And I will be happy to help you out. I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you very much for attending. Have a wonderful day.